Trump is saying, in order to make America great again, America must be the hegemon of the world. America must be the policeman or policewoman of the world. And what is right is what America says is right. And we have seen this not only in the Venezuelan case, we have seen the rhetoric relating to Nigeria, the rhetoric relating to Iran. So when one looks at these events and contextualizes them, the sad story is we are witnessing the death of international law as it was conceived in San Francisco in 1945, begging the question, is the UN relevant, or it should be re-examined in the same way that the League of Nations was?
Yeah, things has changed. Things are not the same again. This is the new world order. Whether you want it or not, this is the new world order. All of us, we have to obey and to follow these powerful nations. While the world is still under shock after the capture of President Maduro of Venezuela, Professor PLO Lumumba has came out and warned Africa that new wave of colonization is coming. And this time they will use force to colonize Africa. These international laws, international communities will do nothing. They will lament the way right now friends of Venezuela are lamenting and releasing statements, but nothing will happen. Professor clearly sent a clear warning that lamentation, blaming will do nothing.
At times, the law of the jungle, survival of the fittest, and the dying of the least suitable. In my view, international relations is very nuanced. Because what would they do? Would they invade the United States of America? Because that is the best thing, that something should happen, that missiles should now be directed to the United States of America. But things don't work that way. The only thing that has now happened is that all the arguments that the Americans had against everybody else, against Russia and Ukraine, are now illegitimate. The argument that they have against China invading Taiwan are now illegitimate. And it also gives very bad ideas to some of former colonizers and neo-colonizers that you can actually go into a country and because you are a nuclear power, nothing will happen. That is the danger. The best that the friends of Venezuela can and are already doing is to condemn the United States of America to hold sessions at the UN. But if you listen to Trump's speech at the UN during the last General Assembly, he has contempt for the UN. He was insulting UN. He was insulting the countries. And he is saying it is the United States of America that counts. The rest of the world does not count. Of course, his language is hyperbolic. We are the best. We are the leading. Our military is the best. We can do things that no other country can do. But he also knows that what he is doing is going to face condemnation.
I think everybody now in the world agrees that what has happened is a violation of international law and also a violation of the United Nations Charter. And that is why we called for the Security Council to meet to discuss this matter. And they are the one body that is mandated by the entire world to deal with issues of peace, to deal with issues of security. And we are hoping that the collective wisdom that resides in the Security Council and in the UN body as a whole will bring forward solutions and bring to bear some good sense that should prevail. Because what has happened now basically is giving carte blanche to anyone to mount an invasion on any country. And clearly that cannot be something that we are all pleased with. But the Security Council, as well as the United Nations, must deal with the matter. So they are best placed to address this matter.
Of course, I have heard President Ramaphosa lamenting about what happened in Venezuela and calling the UN and also UN Security Council to take actions. What actions you think UN can take against United States of America? What action the UN Security Council can take against Russia? While we know these countries have veto power, at any time they can use their veto to neutralize all arguments, all declarations, the way we have seen Trump did to Venezuela. It doesn't mean Trump didn't understand that there is international law. They know very well, but because this is a time of new world order, survival for the fittest and disappear of the weak, that's why Trump had decided to take this action.
As for Venezuela, I think the President of the United States has been very clear. Ours is diplomacy, and is an insult to the word diplomacy to talk about diplomacy in this context, is that we will get your resources. Hear him say, we have companies that are going to exploit the resources of Venezuela, and we are going to ensure that the resources and the funds realized will be helped to grow Venezuela. We are going to run Venezuela. If one doubted that colonization, classical colonization is back, it is. And Trump is saying it without mincing any word, without batting an eyelid. And Venezuela, in my view, is a test case.
So, family, brothers and sisters, as Africans, we need to be prepared. This time it's about resources. It's not about democracy, it's not about human rights. This time it's about resources. We have seen Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso have decided to take their own control of their natural resources. But countries such as France want those resources. And we know very well that France has nuclear power. And what if France will decide to do the way America has done to Venezuela? Because what happened in Venezuela, it's not about drugs, it's not about whether human trafficking, it's about oil. What if France will come and invade whether Mali, Niger, or Burkina Faso militarily? Are we prepared as Africans? It's not only about Mali, Niger, or Burkina Faso. Of course, even South Africa. We have heard many times Trump talking about South Africa, talking about white genocide in South Africa. What if Trump will decide to invade also South Africa militarily? What will do as Africans? You know, what Trump is showing the world is showing the power. Trump is demonstrating how America is so powerful, how America is so big, and no one can challenge America. So when you see things like that, when you hear powerful nations taking actions, we, the weak nations, we have to join our forces. We have to come together. Because when the time will come, even lamentation will not take place and will do nothing. You heard about lamentation of African Union on the issue of Somaliland. But recently, yesterday, Israel foreign minister went to Somaliland, and no one can stop them. But African Union will write statements, will condemn, but those condemnation will be nothing. As long as we are divided, as long as we are weak, at any time T will disappear. At any time T will be punished. So when Professor saying those statements, maybe he didn't talk direct. You know, Professor is more diplomatic, but he has to tell African leaders that you are the next. Our countries are the next. These colonizers, when time will come, they want our resources. No, they will not ask permission, whether from United Nations, whether from anywhere. They will come, they will put boot on the ground, and they will invade us. They will capture our leaders. So are we prepared as Africans? Or are we see this as an alert and alarm for we the people of Africa on the coming of a new wave of colonialism? This is colonialism because, Trump has announced that America will benefit from the oil of Venezuela. Americans will invest in Venezuelan oil, and more than billions of barrels will be taken by Americans. And America will run Venezuela until they see there's a transition. It means there's a puppet leader that will be there. The same things has happened in Africa. Africa has been run for a long time with puppet regimes. That's why you see Africa, despite of having all these resources, despite of having everything, we are still poor. We don't benefit from our resources. Why? Because of puppet regimes. So we have headmasters and headboys who are ruling us to preserve the interest of these powerful nations. So this must be a wake-up call to all of us. I have heard President Ramaphosa lamenting about Venezuela. But do you think Trump will listen to what Ramaphosa has said? Do you think Trump can listen and care what Ramaphosa is saying, while already Trump has suspended South Africa from entering to Miami for the G20 summit? So do you think Trump can listen what Ramaphosa is saying, or any African leaders are talking about? They don't care. They know we are weak and we can do nothing. So for we Africans to be respected on the global arena, I think the only solution is to come together. We have been insisting this issue, despite we know that still we have puppet regimes that will not accept this ideas. They will not accept the ideas of single currency because they are being there for the interest of the powerful nations. So when we introduce these ideas, they see we who are introducing these ideas as a scammer. They see us as maybe crazy people. Even if they know that there's a need for Africa to come together to speak with one voice, they don't care because they have already in payroll of Western agencies. And sometimes their families are already in foreign countries. It's themselves who are here. The way we saw President Rajolina of Madagascar, his family wasn't present in Madagascar during the appraising of people. So you can understand that these leaders, their families, they have different homes in different capitals, whether in Europe or America or Asia. So when things went worse, they ran away, they flew away. So brothers and sisters, Professor has awakening all of us, the people of Africa, and telling us to be vigilant. A new wave of colonization is coming. When you hear what Professor is saying, you can refer to what Traul has said, a black winter. So we think this may end in Venezuela, or this is about America. These powerful nations, they have appetite to African resources. Because America has shown them the way, they will do the same. So don't wonder when you hear France has invaded African countries. Don't be anxious when you hear UK has invaded a certain countries. And of course, they have already here. They have military bases here. They don't need to mobilize the resources. They are here already. It's about time to take control. And this time, they know that young people are lazy. What they will do is to capture leaders who are opposing, who have influence, and to cut the inspiration among Africans and these people who want changes. And that's what will happen. So this must be a wake-up call, and we Africans must unite, must come together, must speak with one voice. Otherwise, the rule of the jungle will attack us.
survival of the fittest and the dying of the least. Survival of the fittest and the law of the jungle. Survival of the fittest. It is with precedent.
So, family, brothers and sisters, when you hear what Professor PLO Lumumba is saying, you can compare with what Captain Traore has said. Traore warned Africans about the coming of a new wave of destabilization. He used a term of black winters. So this is a warning, because America has shown them it is possible that if you want resources, you want oil, you want diamond, you want uranium, you can capture leader and take control of that country. While the world is lamenting, international community is lamenting, America is already there, already controlling resources. And there's no any power that can punish America. Do you think the UN will send troops in America to capture Trump? Do you think that things will happen? So this is a wake-up call to all of the people of Africa, that these people, Trump and the America has shown them the way. So don't wonder one day when you hear that France has invaded a certain country in Africa, or UK has invaded a certain country in Africa, because this time it's about resources. It's not about diplomacy, it's not about democracy, human rights. They use those terms in previous generation, because that right now they see the generation has changed. Now we have generations or generation of people who want changes, who want development. And these people don't care about human rights, don't care about democracy. We have generations that want development. For instance, generation of Traore, generation of Blamanchan. So this generation will not be convinced by democracy or human rights, something like that. So because the tactic and technique of democracy, human rights, and other stuff like that will not work, these people will use force. And they use force purposely because they know no one can do anything to them. You know, we think white people are like Africans. White people are so united. America, UK, Canada, all these NATO members are friends, and they protect one another. It's not like we Africans. We Africans, we are divided. You find that we fight each other every now and then. But these white people, I mean European, no, we think when we talk about white people, we don't mean Chinese. Chinese are not white people. We talk about these Europeans. They're so united. And that's why you see, even during the Berlin Conference, they came together and divided Africa. They formed their own union. These people are so organized. It's different with other civilizations. We, the rest, we are not organized. You see, the Arabs are the same like us. At least Arabs are totally different with us. But we Africans, we are most divided civilization. Africans, we don't see each other as brothers and sisters. Africans, we hate each other. Africans, we love most white people than ourselves. Africans, we protect white things than black things. So that's how we are. So this time, if we don't be careful, black winter is coming to us and we'll be forced to be colonized. And I've been saying this many times. For what I see right now, African leaders offering minerals to these powerful nations, offering resources. Of course, it's not bad because we are saying this is investment. But in the near future, 150 years to come, 100 years to come, we'll find ourselves that all resources will be taken by other civilizations. Africans will be in Africa as the people who have been born here, but we are not controllers of our resources. That's what will happen. Africans will be in Africa, but controlling nothing. The resources will be already taken by the Chinese, Russians, Americans, Europeans. Even now, ask what are we owning? Ask what are we owning? Let us be realistic. What are we owning right now? Do we own our diamond? Because if we extract our diamond, we have to say to Europe, can we extract our diamond here, process it here, and producing goods here from our diamonds? Can we do like that? So we own nothing. So everything that we have to be taken to Europe or China or somewhere else. So till today, we own nothing. Even the land, we own nothing. We own only this sand. We own only the sand. But things that are underground, it's not owned by us. If you go to the upper side, you find that there's international space. We own nothing. We don't have satellites. We don't have space equipment. So we own nothing. We are weak. So I think we have to wake up. We have to be vigilant. If we don't understand what is going on right now, we are going to be finished. The rule of the jungle will not leave us. They will take us out. So while we think about being strong, being powerful, we have to ask ourselves, where are we Africans, we are the best? If you go to America, they are the best militarily. Russia, best in nuclear. If you go to other countries, you find there's something that they are so unique. If you go to Japan, they have technologies. Same to China, they have something unique. Come to Africa, except dancing. We dance every time we are dancing. And what dancing can do to us? Have you heard anyone powerful through dancing? Because when gorillas are coming, we dance. When poor people are doing something, we dance. We are dancer. So we have to ask ourselves where we are the best to compete with the rest of the world. And we cannot be the best because of disunity. We cannot be the best because of disunity. Because if today we are united, we can collect ideas from Djibouti, we can collect ideas from Gabon, we can collect ideas from South Africa, from Burkina Faso, we can collect ideas from Uganda, from Libya. So we can bring together those ideas and create one thing that is so powerful that will amaze the world. But because of this unit, we are working individually. We don't have common interest. And that's why this rule of the jungle will affect much on Africa. The rule of the jungle will hide most on Africa because of this unity. It is paining me to see we have been talking for the unity for more than 60 years. Till today, we are still preaching the issue of unity. And all these consequences and these things that has happened, Africa, we are not learning. History are not teaching us. Africa, we are the only community that we learn nothing from the history. And this brings me to understand in the near future, Africa will be colonized again because we learn nothing from the history. Look, our children right now, what are they doing? Our people, what are they doing? Are they conscious about what is going on in science, in technology, in agriculture? And that's why I'm asking, where we are the best, where we are investing much, that we as Africans, we are investing much maybe on agriculture, we are investing much maybe on technologies, maybe on space, maybe on science, where we are the best, maybe in military, where, because all these equipments we are importing from outside, and this equipment can be activated. You know, those who are selling equipment, they know how to control those equipment. They have these satellites. They sometimes they They put GPS there, so they know that this machine, you can use it or you cannot use it. They have pattern to control those equipment. So if you think you can fight America with their own equipment, it's difficult. You can fight Russia with Russian equipment. No, it is impossible because they control everything. They can neutralize you at any time. The way we have seen in Venezuela doesn't mean Venezuela it hasn't resources or equipment to fight. It has, but because those equipment are being bought from somewhere else, people are hacking and taking patterns and control those resources. So you find that you have resources, but you cannot do anything with those resources. So, family, this is a wake-up call. We have heard professors for a long time. We have heard activists for a long time. We have heard many Africans telling us the importance of unity. So this is our time to come together. So, brothers and sisters, please share something.
Thank you, Africa, Mama Africa. Oh, yeah. You make African great. Thank you, freedom. Thank you, Africa.